And this is the question that has been in my mind since the first moments when I got to realize what consciousness is. And I've been really going deeper and deeper in this thought, and I want to invite you to come with me. We know from history all the evolution, and of course, we have different um, different ways to see the evolution of human beings. But if we take the evolution that brought us through Homo Sapiens Sapiens and looking back and seeing how our species was evolving and growing and changing and becoming more and more what we are today. I I really believe today that consciousness is what will really, it's our contribution as Homo sapiens sapiens to the next level of humanity. We, of course, still carry with us some the residues of our primitive being, and that's okay. We are always growing and changing and transforming. But we are in a moment in life, in history, that we need to explore the next level. We really need to make an effort as Homo sapiens sapiens to get to what's next. And my understanding is that the next is consciousness. Consciousness in what kind of sense? In the sense of understanding and living in coherence of what we are doing here on the planet Earth. What we are here for? What we've been doing here to grow, to evolve. And one major thing that if we look around and we perceive the entire world is going in a direction of consciousness, awareness. It became such a trendy, and at the same time, there is an effort and people talking about meditations and breathing and yoga and Pilates and retreats and um, um, being vegan, being this and changing and juices, and we are in this effervescent moment of changing the behaviors and the mentality about our own being and our responsibility in being better, in living longer, in being healthier, and having a little bit more uh, love with each other and cooperation and it's bringing us to being better than we've been. And all this inclusive movement and all these stop abusing, stop racism, and all that turbulence, it's boiling old habits, it's transforming in a better human being, much better than than, what we've been. So Because we've been talking about thoughts and how slave of our thoughts we became, how connected to our past we are in anger, resentment, unforgiveness, sadness, trauma, and we drag our past with us, not letting go anything. And I can tell you, because I lived this way for most of my life, dragging the past, being tormented by the thoughts of the past, by the things that he did, she did, he said, she didn't do, he didn't do, and dragging those memories, a heavy weight, and being with that pain, saying that's so hard to let go, because we are tormented by the memories. Things happened there. It's not happening now. So what's happening now is the memory that we carry, and we, each of us, make it live, present, bringing to the present, or our thoughts taking us to the anticipation of the future, bringing anxiety and nervousness, and it's another type of torment that it's all created in our mind, and we are just anxious because, and we plan, and we go, and we suffer because if it happened, and if it happened, and if I don't get there, and if I'm late, and if I don't get the job, and if I don't pass the test, we anticipate the future, and we know that 95% of the times we anticipate all the suffering of something that didn't happen yet, usually don't happen the way we anticipated anyways. So we keep our life bouncing in between these two realities that has no business with the being in the present. And we start being such a slave of those thoughts. So, and if our big challenge as Homo sapiens sapiens now is to learn how to live in the present moment and to finally find this happiness that we are all looking for. We are all chasing. And, and if this happiness is right here, right now, just living the present moment, that's it. That's it. So I invite you to do a quick exercise with me. We've been doing these in the last lives, and I highly recommend you to do every day. 30 seconds. It will take you 30 seconds to start really opening up this consciousness of who you are and what you are doing here. What is your life about? Not to the profession, the family, you as this eternal soul. What are you doing here on earth? What's your contribution to self and to the world? And your world can be a small world. I'm not talking about being any famous or doing anything too big, but how you can really be and do what you came to earth to do, and in parallel, at the same time, contributing to the evolution of our species as human being. So I invite you for these 30 seconds to just Just stop any distraction around you, and we will be silent. And I just want you to stay with your thoughts. Usually, your thoughts dominate you. It's just a moment of awareness. So you will stay and you will observe your thoughts. One thought will come and pass. Don't grab any thought. Don't get attached to any of them. Just let them come and go. 30 seconds, okay? From now. I know the experience is short, but you can repeat 30 seconds or you can just extend this for longer. And the base of these exercises for you to have the experience of being the one that observe your thoughts. The moment that we stop being the slave of the thoughts, let the thoughts be the commander of our lives. And in that moment, you stop all the distractions. In other words, you are present to the present moment. And being present, you can observe the thoughts coming and going. And what's the main is extract of these experiences to be in this position of you or being the observer of your own thoughts. So the question that usually I get from my students is, well, if I have the thoughts coming and going and I have me observing, so who is the me that think the thought and who is the me that observe the thoughts? So the idea is the consciousness is that as observer, we are centered in who we really are. Understanding and knowing, because once you go through the experience, you know that the thoughts have a life of its own. The thoughts will happen like your heartbeat. Tudum, 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 tudum. You have no control of that and keep pulsing night and day and night, 24/7, 365. Tudum, tudum. And in certain moments, if you pay attention and you really quiet yourself, some people can hear, can feel the pulsation of your heart. And the heart is doing its job, and we have no business interfering on that. It's just happening. If you put a stethoscope, you can just hear, being the observer, and the heart is pulsating. Ta-dum, ta-dum, ta-dum. The same with the thoughts. The same way our body comes with a heart and so many other organs comes with the thoughts. the thought machine that keeps coming. Like the heart beats, the thoughts pass. The thing is that we get so out of touch of reality. We are so much into the past or into the future that we don't realize that we lost touch with reality. We live dominated by the memories, or we live anxious about the future, what maybe will happen, and we worry. And being in this constant dwelling constantly in the past and the future, we lose touch of what's going on now. And what's going on now is to unselect any thought that's not the thought you want to think. That's the big key. That is the power. That's the superpower we can develop with breathing consciously or meditating. And it's a big challenge too. A big challenge for us to find time and the desire of having this experience and changing our lives. So my invitation for you is to keep doing. If you have any doubt, any difficulty, just write in the comment, ask. I'll be revisiting the video. My name is Katia Ferreira, and the moment I discover the power of quieting my travel to the future and to the past, and decide to be more in the present moment, the suffering disappeared. And the happiness, joy, fun, and focus came as bonus of this simple exercise of the mind when we move from being the slave of the thoughts to be the commander, the thief of commander of our thoughts. It would be the observer and select only the thoughts we want to think. And being in charge of our actions and behaviors that are not connected to the past or future anymore, but absolutely centered in the present moment. I wish you an amazing week. We will be back here next Monday at 8 in the morning. And if you have any doubt, if you need any help with the breathing, with the thought exercise, please don't hesitate in writing your comments and I will answer you. Have a wonderful week.